fighting slowdown, China imposes pay limits on bankers. Amid economic challenges, China is instituting a cap on annual salaries for executives in state-owned financial sector. A significant move given the dominance of these institutions in the country's banking industry. The proposed salary ceiling of 3 million yuan or $413,000 comes at a time when financiers' pay has already dwindled due to the economic slowdown triggered by the COVID-19 pandemic and struggling stock market. Additionally, widespread corruption investigations have led to the arrest of over 30 senior regulators and bankers this year, further destabilizing the sector. Major banks have already enforced pay cuts of 10% or more across the board. And this is what I've kind of been hearing about this as well. Is they're telling people, like, if you gotten paid, this is just for like the public sector banks. This is like, because most of the things in China are owned by the Chinese government. Yeah. They do have some that are private, that are funded privately. They left those guys alone. You can do what you want. You can pay people how you want to. But the ones that were in the public sector, they were like, you're not making any more than 400,000, 413,000, and it's like retroactive, pretty much. Like, hey, and if it happened, if you got it in the last 5 years more than that, we want the money back. That's some crazy shit to tell somebody.
Yeah, sure. Let me go home and go get it for you.
You're dead in China. You're not going for none of that. They got cameras that watch you all the way home. It ain't like here, buddy. It ain't like here. They're going to put on my O.J. Simpson mask and walk right out the country. Hey, I would have been
a golf club. Like, I'm out.
Been out of there.
I'm gone.
A long time ago.
I got to give you what?
And that money's spent. I'm gonna tell you like this: that money's gone, bro. You already should know that's out of here. Look at my luxury bags I got on in the house right now.
How you gonna point to the stuff you just bought for it? They're like, I will take those too.
Hey, there's no way.
I'm like, I got all the cash at my house. Let me drive there and go get
it. I can't believe that they're even doing something like that. Honestly,
that's crazy.
I feel like that's overreach. That just tells the Chinese government is going through a lot right now. They're beefing with a lot of different people right now. They're going through a lot of issues, especially financially. And people don't really realize this is going to drive them to maybe having to attack Taiwan. Taiwan's like one of the 20 largest countries as far as GDP in the world. Yeah. I mean, that's a big coup. I think they have over $1 trillion or something like that, $1 trillion economy. Imagine just picking them up. Now you got them, and now you own all of the
chip sector. South Korea
out of there.
I'll be gone. That's crazy. I mean, they're gonna start doing that in America when Donald Trump becomes president. He's gonna be like, look, all the people that made money off the merchandise making fun of me, I'm gonna need all that because he can do it. Because he can say it's detrimental, and he can do it without immunity because he's the king now.
I think that it's like he can do. What it is that he can do things that with their official acts and get away with them. I don't know if he could just make any law. He can't supersede, but I do think that they're given an opportunity to be able to try and do these things.
He's going to be able to look, he was doing whatever he wanted before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now he just gets to do it and be like, he said, hey, I could shoot somebody in front of the White House and not go to jail for it. And the Supreme Court was said, let's make sure you can.
So if he takes the Justice Department, he can just say, "Hey, arrest that person." And if they're listening to him, they'll do it.
He had it last time.
Yeah, but now he's gonna fire everybody. He's already talked about, I'm firing everybody. As soon as I get in here, I'm getting rid of everybody, and I'm putting my people in. So if they're willing to follow through on the actions,
they aren't even skilled on it. There's people that are loyalists to him, so they'll never leave. Think about it. He had the one lady that was holding up the certification, and she had this minute job. Where she was supposed to just sign a paper and say, hey, it was certified. And she held off on it for weeks.
He hired somebody to be, I think it was Secretary of State or some job he had, or I don't remember what it was. But he fired a bunch of people who was already in the position because they wouldn't listen to do what he told them to do. And I mean, because what was it? Robert Byrd, I think, was he in I forget what position he was in. There's a couple of different positions. He had fired like 2 or 3 different people, right?
Yeah.
And then so he could try to get the guy he was in there to do the job. This was during the January 6th thing when he was like, you won't help me overthrow this election. You're fired. You won't help me overthrow this election. He was just firing people. And I believe that now he's going to come right in. They've set him up with the perfect situation with the Supreme Court, what they've done there. And then now they got a plan. They're coming straight in. He said, I'm firing 40, 50,000 people in the federal government, and I'm going to replace them. I'm going to let them go, and what they're going to have to do is go and take it up with the Supreme Court. It's going to take time. You have to take it down to the lower courts. Then it's going to have to go up to the Supreme Court. That's going to take you about a year or more.
I'm going to say some wild stuff. He gonna get elected president, right? Then he'll be like, hey, guess what? Jeffrey Epstein's not dead. I'm going to make him Secretary of Education.
think so?
Probably.
This guy's crazy, man.
You caught that, right? You caught that, right?
Yeah, he's a Secretary of Education. This guy is crazy, man.
I'm saying they can do whatever they want, man. Let us know what y'all think. Let us know. Like, listen, subscribe. Leave your comments there. We love to read them. We love to respond back to them. Don't get too spicy, because I like to get spicy too. We'll see you next time. Uncommon Courtesy.